Welcome back, you gorgeous weirdos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new here, welcome. Hi, I'm Marla Chris. I'm so glad you stopped by. We're going to do some nails. We do nails twice a week, every week on this channel. Stick around, subscribe if that's what you are into. I'm going to start by applying my peel off base coat. This is a very comprehensive video, if you will. We're going to do some chrome, and I'm so excited about it. If you're here for that, you can fast forward. I'll leave timestamps down below, but we're going to do the entire thing today, including peel off base coat, dip powder, filing, all the things. I'm going to use this color from Model 1s. It's the black that I've used so many times before and I have loved. Peel off base coat though, let's talk about it. So I use peel off base coat because I film content a lot, very often, as I upload twice a week on YouTube. Peel off base coat will react differently for everyone. It really depends on your body chemistry, how much water you are in, whether you're washing your hands a million times a day or you have a career where you're swimming. Water exposure does activate the peel off base coat. So if you want your manicure to last a while, and by a while I mean more than a few days, you're going to want to skip the peel off base coat. I just use it because I turn around manis pretty quickly. I usually get maybe a day or two if I'm lucky. Usually when I do peel off base coat, if I do my nails with the peel off base coat and I take a shower, I'm going to lose a nail in the shower without fail. That's what happens. That's my natural body chemistry. But again, this reacts differently for everyone. Some people I know can have a mani stay on for a whole week with peel off base coat, and how they do that, I'll never know because I have never had that experience. But if it's something you want to play around with because you don't like soaking your nails off in acetone, play around with it. Just know that it's not meant for longevity. It is meant for quick turnaround. I think it was actually created for like nail polish swatchers, so they can just take their manis right off when they're done. So that is peel off base coat. Again, if you want your manicure to last like a week or two or three or beyond, skip the peel off base coat, prep your nails as you normally would, remove the shine, get your dead cuticle off, and proceed. My nails have completely dried. The UNT Peel Base is an air dry formula, so you don't have to cure it or anything. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to dry down. And now we can get into dipping. Now, chrome you don't need to do over dip powder. You can do chrome nails over literally anything you want. You can do it over gel, hard gel, poly gel, builder gel, soft gel, whatever the hell you want to do it over. I don't care. They're your nails. But you definitely want a black base for this type of look. So I'm going to use the black dip powder here. You can use black gel polish if you want to. Black dip powder can be a little tricky to work with. I like this black dip powder. I find that it doesn't stain me at all. But you also want to be super careful with your application. If you're just slapping your dip base,
slap the base
for the sake of our relationship,
slap a daughter box
all over your finger, then guess what? You're going to have black dip powder all over your finger. So you want to make sure you're being super careful, intentional, and precise with your dip base application. I also like to use this precision cuticle tool to go around the perimeter of the nail and just make sure there's nothing where it's not supposed to be. There are ways to clean this up later should you make a little bit of a mess. And I emphasize a little bit of a mess. Again, if you're slapping this all over the place, good luck and Godspeed taking care of it later. But if you can really hone in on your dip application, I know I've said this 1.5 million times. If you're new and you haven't heard it, now you have. Liquid application and liquid control is key when you're doing dip powder nails because it is going to make your life way easier later when you're going to file a shape and buff. I do not overload my brush with product. I keep a very small amount on, only what I need for my nails, and that will vary depending on your nail situation, your nail length, whether you're doing extensions or tips or whatever. For me and my little short nublets, I know, I have freakishly long nail beds. I grew them myself. Thank you. I use, a certain amount of dip liquids for my own nails. That'll vary depending on your nail length. I get a lot of questions about liquids, like how much should I use? And I can't answer that for you because your nails are not my nails. Unless your nails are in my face and I can see them. I can see the length. I can see the width. I can see all the things. I don't know. You have to play around with it. I always say start with a little You can always add more if you need it. Got it? Good. So let's talk about this oil slick chrome nail thing that I'm so hoping becomes a trend because it's so freaking cool looking. Have y'all been on a chrome kick? I have. If you don't know who I am, if this is your first time watching some of my content, then you don't know. But if you follow me anywhere else, you know that I've been on such a chrome kick lately. I don't know what it is. I did kind of fall into the Hailey Bieber glazed donut trend when that happened, like however long ago. But I feel like now I'm just on such a chrome kick. And I've been doing it on extensions too. I make press-ons, if you don't know. Not like to sell or anything. I just make them for myself. I love doing it. They're so much fun to do. If you want to see how I do press-on nails, I'll leave a video up in the eye for you to check out. But I've been doing chrome on all of press-ons. It's been so much fun. Literally obsessed. It's such a vibe right now. I don't know why. It's a whole mood and I'm so here for it. So if you've been in like this chrome moment with me, comment down below and let me know. If you're not and you want to try, if you've never done chrome nails before, let me know also. There are ways to do chrome without gel. I have done it, I have succeeded, and I'll leave that video up in the eye in case that is more your journey. I get it. People have gel allergies. I understand. But if you want a very basic chrome with the oil slick tutorial, we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. I'm going to dust off this first coat of dip powder. You want to make sure you're dusting off your excess really well. Otherwise, you can contaminate your liquid brush and it can get thick and goopy and no one wants that kind of a problem. So I'm going to dust off everything really, really well. Clean up any product that may have gotten on my skin because my nails are super short and I don't have a lot of stuff hanging over the edge of my skin. I'll have a lot of nail, overhang. So now we're going to get into coat number 2. Coat number 2 is exactly the same for me as coat number 1. This is my typical MO when it comes to me doing my own dip powder nails. 2 coats of color over the entire nail followed by a coat of clear. Now, again, this will vary on what? Depending on your own nails, what your nail situation is. Again, whether you have longer nails or if you're building, full extensions or whatever. If you need to build up an apex, which I would highly recommend if you have longer nails than I do, I'll leave that video up in the eye. I'm not doing that only because A, again, my nails are super short, and B, I have a natural apex to my nails. So I don't typically feel the need to build an apex unless I'm doing super long extensions, which I never do. Why? Because I don't function with nails. I can't text, I can't type, I can't open things. They just get in my way. So I'll prefer to keep my nails short. If you are a long nail girl, though, more power to you. I don't know how you do it. Let me know your sorcery and how you function day to day because I just don't have the genetics for it. But again, I'm just going to do a second coat, pretty much the same as I did the first coat. Nothing different. And as you can see, this black is not staining whatsoever. It's so damn good. And I know it looks a little bit gray on camera right now. It does in real life too, until we activate it, and then it is a true black. There's no weird undertone to this dip powder. It's not like purple or brown or anything strange. It is a true black, and that is why I'm literally obsessed. This is like the only black dip powder I'll use right now, and I love it. Not to mention the fact that it's super affordable and it's on Amazon. How can you beat that? It's amazing. Is it Model Ones? Yes, yes, it is. None of this is sponsored, by the way, although Model Ones, they do treat me very well and they sponsor a lot of content for me. This is not one of those moments. I genuinely love Model Ones products, and that is why I continue using them, even when they don't pay me. So if that's not a testament to my love for that company, I don't know what is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this second coat, and then we're going to do a clear on top, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to dust off all the black again really, really well because I'm going to dip into clear and I don't want to contaminate my clear powder with black pigment. That's going to quickly ruin your clear dip powder. So again, dust off excess really, really well. Here's what we are looking like after 2 dips. This is the clear I'm using. It's also from Model 1s. I'm going to do this exactly the same way as I did the black. I'm going to put the base down all over the nail, cuticle to free edge, and dip right into the clear. Now what you're going to notice is I do let my nail kind of sit in the clear and kind of marinate for a minute. This clear happens to be extremely finely milled. Like it's powder, very, very soft, very, very fine. So I do need to let it sit and marinate for a minute. That way it absorbs all of that liquid that I put on the nail and doesn't absorb too quickly. Because sometimes what can happen is powder absorbs quickly into the base liquid and it remains wet. And if you go to brush that off, you can quickly gunk up your dusting brush. So you don't want to dust off anything on your nail that looks wet still. You will see me even double dip all of my nails to make sure there are no wet spots because I don't want to gunk up a dusting brush. I don't know if you've ever tried getting acrylic out of a dust brush. It's just a pain in the ass and it's something I just don't have time for. So I take precautions ahead of time to make sure I don't have to do extra work later. Once I am done dipping all of the nails, you're going to see me brush off all the excess like I've been doing, but I'm going to take an extra step to ensure these nails remain black and they don't look speckly or cloudy or grainy or anything like that, especially over darker colors when you're doing dip powder. Clear can often make a color look just that, bubbly, speckly, dusty. And we don't want that. We want this to be black, blacker than black. So we're going to take a little extra step here in a minute to ensure that these nails are as clear as they possibly can be. So here's what they look like after I dust off the excess, but wait, I'm going to grab a stiff manicure brush and I'm going to scrub off the remaining excess clear. And you're going to see the difference between doing this and just brushing off excess. You see how much clearer that nail looks. I'm going to go ahead and do this for all the nails, and this is really going to ensure that your finished product is as crystal clear as it possibly can be. Once I do this, I'm going to throw a coat of activator on all of the nails very generously, and I'm going to let that sit for about 5 minutes or so. And when I come back, I'm going to show you a little bit of my filing routine. So those are completely activated and dried. These are the tools that I'm going to use to file. I'm going to use a cuticle pusher first. I'm going to push my skin back as much as possible without hurting myself. You don't want to cause yourself pain. Nothing here should hurt. This is going to give me a little gap to get this really super duper skinny nail file in and really round out that cuticle area and make it very, very smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of the nails. And then I'm going to also take that file around the sidewalls and the free edge and just smooth everything out, just making sure there is nothing jagged or uneven hanging off the edge of the nails. That's all I'm going to do with this file. I'm going to do that for all of the nails, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Once I have my shape completely cleaned up, I'm going to take this super duper fine sponge buffer. I believe it's a 150 grit. I'm going to smooth over the entire surface of the nail. This will just get rid of any lumps, bumps, imperfections if they are small. If you have craters in your nail, you're going to need a heavy duty file. But for this, my application was pretty smooth. So I'm just going to take the buffer and go over all of the nails. And then we're going to move on to the fun stuff. Okay, so let's start the process of these oil slick chrome nails. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean off my nails really, really well. I'm going to use a lint-free wipe and some alcohol, the rubbing kind, not the drinking kind. If you want to get up and wash your hands at this point, you totally can, but you're going to want to do this step after you wash your hands anyway, because sometimes soaps can have oils in them. You don't want any of that on the nail. You want to make sure that whatever you're going to put on top of this completely adheres. So you're going to want to cleanse off the nails with alcohol, whether you're washing your hands or not. Once you have your nails completely cleaned off, you're going to want to start with a gel base coat. The gel base coat will kind of act as double-sided tape for everything you're going to put on top of it. It'll adhere to your nail, to the dip powder, to the gel polish. If you're using gel polish, you can disregard the filing, shaping, and base coat. You can go right in with your top coat. But for dip powder, I want to make sure that everything adheres. So I'm going to do gel base on all of the nails and cure for 30 seconds. Now is where the magic is going to start really happening. We're going to do the gel top coat. Now with the gel top coat, you want to make sure your application is pristine. You do not want to get this on your skin. You don't want to flood your sidewalls or your cuticle area. Wherever you put this gel top coat, the chrome will stick to. So you want to make sure your application is as perfect as possible. You're also going to see me bounce my nails around under my ring light for a hot minute because I'm looking for imperfections. Chrome does a really great job of showing off whatever you did wrong. So we're going to make sure that our application is as close to perfect as possible before we cure. I'm also capping my free edge. I want to make sure the chrome is on my free edge, and I want to make sure that this sticks and stays, because if you don't cap your free edge, you're going to risk the chrome chipping off of your nails way faster. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm only going to cure the gel top coat for 30 seconds. That's it. We're not doing a full cure. We will finish the cure after we chrome, but for the chrome to stick, I find that I only need a partial cure. Anything else the chrome may not stick to, for me at least. You can do this however way you see fit. So I'm going to do the top coat, make sure it's level, make sure it's perfect, and then cure for 30 seconds only. Did y'all see the ghosty turn off my light? The audacity. So here's the chrome that I'm going to use. It came in this big set of chromes that I have been using forever. And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of that chrome on my finger. You do not need a lot. And I'm going to start rubbing that into the top coat. You're going to want to buff this in, get it everywhere. Get it around the cuticle area, around the sidewalls, on the free edge. We're just going to buff and buff and buff until it is completely smoothed out, no longer looks grainy, and that is literally as much effort as it takes. And because this is like a duochrome shifting chrome powder, it gives that oil slick look, which is so freaking beautiful. I cannot wait to see all of these when they're done. I'm just going to go ahead and continue rubbing in this chrome. I'm going to get the chrome on all of the nails, and then I'm going to finish the cure. So I'm going to pop it back in the lamp for another 30 seconds, and then we're going to seal it in with another coat of top coat. So I've got that layer of top coat completely cured. The chrome is in there. I'm going to dust off very gently any excess chrome powder that might be around my nails or on my nails before we seal this in. Now I'm going to go straight in with my gel top coat to seal this in, and I'm going to cap my free edge the same way I did just earlier. But if you want extra security for your chrome and your gels, you're going to want to put down another coat of gel base before you seal it in with gel top. Again, this is only for security to make sure your chrome doesn't go anywhere, doesn't budge, doesn't chip, doesn't break off. But I don't keep manicures on very long, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that step. To be honest, I just kind of forgot. But do as I say and not as I do. So I'm going to get the top coat on all of the nails, and then I'm going to cure for a full minute, and then you're going to see the finished look. So I went ahead and cured it for a full minute. I got up, I washed my hands, and are you ready? The camera doesn't even do it justice. I mean, you guys got to see this in natural light because the camera, the ring light, it doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing, but it's still so freaking beautiful. The way it shifts in the sunlight especially is just chef's kiss. It's absolutely stunning. I cannot even. I'm going to give you all a little pro tip here for if there's anything in your cuticle area that shouldn't be, you can take your glass cuticle pusher. I use this for prep every time I do my nails. And you can just go around the cuticle area and get off any chrome or any top coat or any black dip powder that might have gotten in there that shouldn't be in there, and just scrape it all out. This is really going to help further perfect your cuticle line and make your finished manicure salon quality. This is my little hack. I don't use it very often, only really when I'm using really deep, dark dip colors that I will do this, because everything else kind of seems insignificant, but especially for black, because you're going to see that. You're going to see that everywhere it shouldn't be. The cuticle pusher tool does a great job of getting all that gunk out. So this is how easy the oil slick nail look really is. I am super obsessed with the way this came out. Absolutely love it. You guys will have to let me know what you think down below. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up so I know that you liked it. I hope the rest of your day is as beautiful as you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Love you. Bye.